All right, we on time? You damn right we on time. Goddamn. All right, what's up, man? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? What is going on, guys? We're on time, basically. Just a few minutes behind, 3 minutes, but I'm live and I'm right here. I'm live. I'm right here, welcoming everybody in the room. All right, while everybody's piling on in here, let me start inviting people. Let me let everybody know that it's real right now. Hold on one second. Let me do this on the Twitters. Hold on one second. I got to do the Twitters. Hold on one second. Y'all come on in. How y'all doing, man? Welcome to Tariq Radio Live, the Sunday stream. Y'all know how we do. Locked and loaded. Ready and rocking. Let me put it, I'm doing all the social media things while we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me throw this stuff on here. Hope y'all had a great week, man. I've been very busy. We're wrapping up the Buck Breaking movie. The movie is pretty much done. We're just putting all the little bells and whistles on it, cleaning it up, getting it spruced up, but the movie is basically done. So, I'm in a good space right now. I'm feeling good about that because that's something that I worked on every single day, ever since we got started with the project. I mean, literally every day I'm working on that film. When you do films like that, man, you got to be focused, you got to be disciplined. And hold on, I'm still sharing on social media, so y'all bear with me. Once I do that, man, we're going to be all the way up in there. Hold on. Where we at? Come on, bang. And yeah, the Cash App, I hate to see people hitting the Cash App. The Cash App is KingFlex818 for those who want to get busy with the Cash App. For those who want to get busy with the Cash App, KingFlex818. All right, I'm here. Bam, 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 I'm here. All right, so what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Shout out to Portland, Oregon. All right. What is good with everybody up in here? Shout out to Seattle. You understand? Say, do the LGBTQ be hating on me? Actually, they don't. Actually, they do not. They do not. They actually don't. Because I don't really attack especially black LGBT people. I don't really attack people. I come at things from a historic context. I talk about history. So the LGBT community, and I'm talking about the black ones, the black folks who are LGBT, they don't have a problem with me because I don't do anything or say anything to disparage them. In fact, I speak up in protecting them because I understand the kind of danger they're in. And a lot of black people who are LGBT, they understand the game too. They know the racism that comes from the white LGBT community. That's who I call out. I call out the racism from the white LGBT community. I call out the racism from all groups, anti-black racism coming from Asians, anti-black racism coming from the LGBT community. See, I don't give them a pass. See, a lot of black folks are afraid to criticize them. But no, I call out all forms of racism. Everybody's going to get it. If you got a history of practicing anti-black racism, you will get called out. You are as much as the problem as everybody else. The trick that they've done, family, what they do, they created these other so-called marginalized groups. And then what they do is make black people the victimizers. See, y'all better understand the tricks that these white supremacists use. Part of the game, to victimize somebody, you have to flip the game on them sometimes and make it seem like, okay, they're the real victimizers and they're victimizing everybody else. That's an old trick because when the white supremacists control the media, they can do that. But part of the game is to get black people who are victims of all types of anti-black racism from every other group. You understand that? Shout out to everybody over there in Maui. Hit that thumbs up button while you're coming on in. We're going to just get right out the gate heavy. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like button right now, everybody. But like I said, family, they've run a game on us that's real heavy. What's up, Michael Warden? Shout out to Michael Warden. Everybody coming in the room, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've been hearing about this Billie Holiday documentary, not documentary, but film that's on Hulu. My sister Teslin just hit me up about that, asked me if I've seen it. I have not seen it yet. I want to see it. I'm hearing that there's a lot of LGBT stuff they done put in there. You understand? I understand. You notice the theme with our history? I want y'all to notice something. Whenever they do a historic piece on black people, notice how, and I want y'all to peep game, how they keep bringing up some type of LGBT activity connected to black history. I'm hearing that they done put some LGBT into this Billie Holiday thing. They did the same thing with that film that was on Netflix, with two films that was on Netflix. The one that Denzel produced, what was the name of it? And the acting was great. The last film my brother Chadwick Boseman was in. Oh, was Lee Daniels in charge of it? Okay, there you go. That's why they're trying to get Lee Daniels to produce The Spook Who Sat Behind the Door. But what's that movie? They did it with the Madam C.J. Ma Rainey. Yeah, they did it with the Ma Rainey movie. They had her in an LGBT relationship, and she did what she did back in the day. But they notice what they focus on. With the Madam C.J. Walker joint, they focused on her daughter. And her daughter was a part of that whole Harlem Renaissance thing. So they were doing a whole bunch of stuff with that. This is what they're doing. They're finding stuff, and they're finding LGBT stuff to crowbar into black history, so that now they're going to start teaching this in school. Like I said, man, and we talk about this in the Buck Breaking movie, they're going to start teaching LGBT history, but what the hell is that? When you ask people, what's LGBT history? What the hell is that? Nobody can really give a straight answer because they don't really have a teachable LGBT community that people can look at and really get some kind of inspiration from. Because when we talk about the white LGBT community, they've been practicing the same anti-black racism as everybody else, and they've benefited from the same privileges of white supremacy. You know? So they're doing all these movies. So they're going to start, what they're going to start doing now, putting these movies out and having a little crowbarred LGBT history thing in it. They're going to do something about Bayard Rustin. They're going to do something about him pretty soon, CIA-ass Bayard Rustin. So they're manufacturing this history now. They're manufacturing the history to tie it in with us. You see? So that they can use us. They're piggybacking the agenda onto us. And the agenda is to ultimately undermine us. Hold on, my sister. Okay. I just got a link. It's like on Pink News UK. It says, incredible new movie about the bisexual icon Billie Holiday. So they're playing that game, guys. They're playing that game, guys. So now she's not a black person who suffered from white supremacy. Well, she's a bisexual person. Family, this is what black folks voted for, okay? See, you can't really complain, black people, because, see, you voted this stuff in. Not only is the LGBT agenda doesn't have a black face. They flip it and make us the victimizers. You see, this is the whole narrative. The narrative is that these black people who were suffering from racism and homophobia, and they were suffering from the homophobia from the black people. See, they weren't accepted. See, racism, yeah, that's bad, but homophobia is equally as bad. You understand? So they're trying to conflate different forms of bigotry, which Billie Holiday, nobody really discriminated against her in black society. We love Billie Holiday. And look, we've known about gay and bisexual entertainers. We've known about that. There's a lot of them that we've known about that's been open secrets in black society. Nobody cared. Ma Rainey, people know what she was doing. Big Mama Thornton, people know what she was doing. Moms Mabley, she was a stud. People knew. That whole Harlem Renaissance thing. People knew. Nobody cared. These were our brothers and sisters. You understand? Nobody cared. It's about Little Richard. People knew. Langston Hughes. People knew. Yeah, people knew. Let me tell you something. The truth be told, in the 1960s, Bayard Rustin wasn't the only one who was a gay dude. Let's be clear. Bayard Rustin wasn't the only one. There's a lot of them dudes were. James Baldwin, nobody cared. We knew we rode with James Baldwin. That was our brother. You see? So that wasn't something that we really tripped on. But see, the white supremacists, it's all about flipping the narrative and promoting something that they can flip and say that black people are the perpetrators of. They do that all the time with our history. They start rewriting our history. This is why it's important for us to tell our history. This is why it's important for us to tell our history. They do little slick flipping with the Black Panthers. They do that a lot. One narrative that they would do was talk about how misogynistic the Black Panthers were. That was a narrative. See, the narrative of black men standing up for themselves, fighting for their community. No, you can't promote that narrative. For years, they tried to promote the narrative that the Black Panthers were really these misogynistic, chauvinistic patriarchs who wanted to subjugate black women the same way the white man wanted to subjugate them. See, that's a narrative that the white feminists cooked up, and they gave that narrative to their Negro mammy minions, okay? They gave that narrative to the Negro mammy minions, okay? And starting in around the late 70s, Gloria Steinem helped put out this book by Michelle Wallace called Black Macho. And this book, Black Macho, they got those talking points about how misogynistic the Black Panthers were and how toxic that masculinity was. That was a big thing. White society and their Negro flunkies promoting the toxic black masculine man narrative, okay? And I've heard some of these fraudulent ass tethered Negro mammies who call themselves feminists running around spewing the same garbage. In modern times, they go around talking about how patriarchal the Black Panthers were and how oppressive they were, how they would subjugate the women and wouldn't let the women do anything. They wouldn't let the black women take leadership roles of the black men. See, these are foreign tethers who come in and spew that nonsense. The Fraudinista Jones, they would spew that bullshit for a long time. All those foreign tether mammies would spew that. And even now, when you see the white supremacists doing all types of slick stuff, you get these foreign mammy tethers running interference for them. So what you have are the Tarana Burks and all the other mammies who are working for the white feminists who go out here and run interference, take the focus off white daddy. It's really black men. Look, black men are the real problem. Look at all the abuse that the black women, we're here for the black women. The black women are suffering all this abuse and it's coming from the black community. And you know, they got this thing with Cuomo, all these people coming out against him, and the Me Too mammies won't say anything about it. And a lot of the right-wing white supremacists are calling them out, which they should. A lot of people are calling out the hypocrisy of Tyrannosaurus Burke and the Me Too movement, which is just a white supremacist movement to deflect away from certain powerful people on the left. It's a fraud, and I'm offended by it because you got Tyrannosaurus Burke who comes out here and use the suffering of foundational black American women to benefit her own jive-ass self. That I don't like. You got sisters out here who are harmed, for real, in large numbers by these white supremacists who don't get any kind of punishment, or they get lenient punishment, and she don't say nothing about that. So this whole narrative that harming black women is bad unless white daddy does it, that's some bullshit. I don't respect that at all. I don't respect that at all. And I take offense that a person who came over here to benefit off the struggle of foundational black Americans, you come over here and hop in bed with the white supremacists spewing a narrative that ultimately hurts us because, again, these immigrant tethers, many of them want to see us replaced. You dig? Tyrannosaurus Burke and the Me Too folks, they didn't say nothing about this white man who's in the NFL who damn near beat his black girlfriend to death. Family, y'all remember in South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, that white boy, DJ Kid, is a white boy who rumored to have AIDS and HIV. By his own admission, this man he done knocked down, his words, he put this on social media about all the hundreds of black women that he done knocked down. He's bragging about all the black women he done laid up with. And he got pictures all over the internet of him with all these black women, underage black girls, and the whole nine. It's like damn near 700. The authorities said there may be more. Family, when you look at the numbers of Florence, South Carolina, there's this one white man victimized damn near 10% of the entire black female population in one city, and they ain't say nothing about this dude. There's one white man done victimized 10%, almost 10% of the black female population in one city. And they don't say shit about this dude. You understand? Because he's white daddy. Yeah, and there's pictures of him all booed up with Hillary Clinton. So yeah, they're real quiet about that. They don't want to go that route. Yeah, they got pictures of him all kicking it with Hillary Clinton. Let me find it. Let me show it while I'm here, by the way. I'll show it while I'm here. Let me find it real quick. See, they don't want to play that game. And some of these pictures I don't want to show here on YouTube because they trip sometimes when I post certain images. So I got to be careful with that. Let me find that real quick on my thing. Hold on one second. Where we at? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, some of these pictures I ain't gonna show, but yeah, this is him. That's the DJ Kid dude. He's in jail now, but he's all kicking it with Hillary Clinton. So I don't. The promotions kingpin, Jason Roger Pope, and some of this stuff I can't even show. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. That's Tarana Burke's ass. Yeah, more charges filed against DJ Kid in sex trafficking case. That's him. Oh yeah, y'all. They don't say nothing about this guy. Oh, some of the stuff I can't show. Okay, yeah, they don't say nothing about this guy. Family, this dude violated damn near 10% of the black female population in a city, and they persona non grata. They don't say nothing about this dude. They don't say nothing about this guy. We don't play that game. Sexual assault is wrong, whoever does it. You don't sit up and give white daddy a damn pass. Ronald Burke is very dangerous, and it's very dangerous to have these non-FBA tethers trying to speak for us. You don't give a shit about no black women. Yeah, I saw all that stuff on the dude's lip. Some of the pictures that this man, and he puts up a lot of pictures of some of his black female victims. I mean, this was a thing. This was a thing with this dude. No telling what this dude got and what he has given people. You understand? This is why I always tell people, I've always told people about that AIDS thing. AIDS from the black community, that comes with sisters being laid up with these dudes. That's where all that AIDS come from. It ain't no down low brothers. See, that was the lie that they tried to tell in the early 2000s, that there was a bunch of undercover black men. We just don't know who they are. They running around with AIDS and giving it to women. No, it's these zaddies doing that shit. Yeah. But going back to talking about the Black Panthers, everybody hit that thumbs up button. We're in here heavy. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Hit the thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. So like I said, that whole lie that the Black Panthers were these misogynistic brothers who were subjugating the black women, that lie started to get perpetuated by the CIA, given to Gloria Steinem, and then Gloria Steinem elevated this woman named Michelle Wallace, who nobody knew. That's another thing. When you start seeing people elevated and don't nobody know them, then all of a sudden they done thrown them, they're on the cover of a magazine. Nobody never heard of them, but all of a sudden white people done propped them up. That's a problem. Now you about to see some bullshit. All right? Whenever you see them prop up some random black person and nobody knows who they are, and they're telling you this black person is the spokesperson for black society, it's about to be some BS. So they had her running around, Michelle Wallace, talking about all this black macho and Black Panthers, all misogynistic. And that's a lie that they've been promoting ever since the 70s. Elaine Brown, who was in the Black Panthers, she was doing an interview recently. And it was a white woman interviewing her. And a white woman kind of made a reference, kind of alluded to the women in the Black Panthers being in the kitchen. And Elaine Brown checked her ass. Elaine Brown checked the hell out of her ass. I want y'all to listen to this. Elaine Brown checked her ass real good. Hold on one second. Let me lift this and open this up a little bit. Hit that thumbs up button. We chopping it up right now. Hold on. All right.
And women mostly.
No. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? That's what women say. They always think the Black Panther Party was some kind of chauvinist entity. They fail to remember that NAACP, SNCC, there was no progressive organization. There was no black organization that had any women in leadership except the Black Panther Party. Now, why is it that people would think women would cook? As a matter of fact, the chief cook was a guy named Russell, whatever his last name was, I can't think of. And the chief cook at our lamppost was a guy named Mojo. I mean, so why would we think that? It's insulting to me because people think the black people, we had some kind of animalistic thug boys and that all the women were bitches in the kitchen. No, it was not like that. And but it calls that stereotype. So I'm checking it now so that you have a consciousness that I hear that. I hear people criticize the Black Panther Party all the time. Oh, it wasn't a party. It was, it was chauvinist. Oh, excuse me. Is the world not, a country that's not a patriarchy? Tell me which one it is. Do you know one?
Yeah, I just wanted you to clarify that for us.
I know, but that question wouldn't have come up if you hadn't thought that only women would be cooking.
I didn't think that, but other people have said that. So I just you're the only source of.
Who has said what?
Well, it's just like the general conversations sometimes that you.
Who are these people that say these things?
Just in my research and talking to people, it's not that anybody thinks that necessarily, but those are the questions I've been asked.
But this is a question of women. This is a question that women ask, and mostly so-called feminists of the Gloria Steinem ilk, or whatever they now want to call themselves, the third wave, second wave, whatever wave they are. And this is a very bourgeois feminist notion because they always think that we have to get out of the kitchen And you know what black women said? You know what my mother said when they had to get out of the kitchen and into the street? Yeah, I'd like to get out of the kitchen in your kitchen. Yeah. And it didn't even occur to these Betty Friedens and whatever her name is, former CIA agent Bunny, Gloria Steinem. I mean, she admits that she worked for the CIA, so it's not something Elaine is making up, okay? She talks about it, and she was also a Playboy Bunny. And Gloria Steinem and...
Okay, so that's that right there. So yeah, she hollered at her about that narrative that they've been spewing, that the Black Panthers were just subjugating the women and had them in the kitchen. But when you look at the Black Panthers, the feeding program, even with the Fred Hampton movie, you would in images of Fred Hampton and some of the Black Panther males, it was the black men who were serving the food for the free breakfast program. It was black people who were feeding the black men. It was the black men who was cooking the food and feeding those kids. So where's all of this, the women are subjugated and relegated to the kitchen work? No. See, we got to watch people trying to switch up our history and lie. And this is going to bring us to, we're going to talk about, since we're talking about what went down in the 60s. Today's topic, we're talking about biochemical buck breaking. We're talking about biochemical buck breaking. Family, in the 1960s, black men being men, standing up for themselves, being masculine, not being moist, fighting against white supremacy and putting their lives on the line. That was a major problem for the white supremacists. When people say, let me say something. When people say, well, I ain't like my granddad, you damn right, because a lot of times granddad was a rider. There were some brothers back then who were riders, but a lot of them sacrificed for the generation that turned out to be on some buck dancing bullshit. See, this is the thing, family. You had two types of folks in the 1960s. You had the regular, go along with the program baby boomers. They didn't want no trouble. They just wanted to go to work at the plant and make a good job and just stay. It's okay, Mr. White Man. I drink from the colored water fountain. They had no problem drinking from the colored water fountain. They really didn't. Let's be real. A lot of niggas did not have a problem drinking from that colored water fountain. They ran over there with pride. Well, hey, mister, I just going over here and gets me a drink of water. I'll be over there talking to you in a minute, Mr. Jenkins. They had no problem drinking from that colored water fountain. Okay, so we got some spammers in here. We're getting them out the room. Shout out to the room for getting that spammer out. Get them out of here. The white supremacists trying to... I know they're shadow banning me. This is why y'all have to share this on your social media. Yeah, they're shadow banning the hell out of me. Everybody share this on social media. Let me retweet my link while I'm here. Hold on one second while I'm talking. Because, yeah, they're hiding this. They're hiding my link right now. Yeah? Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. All right, let me just retweet. Okay. All right, I just had to retweet just to let folks know I'm live. And retweet it on your social media, guys. Retweet it on your social media. So, again, I'm talking about the 1960s. You had the baby boomers who were just going along with the program, and you had the black folks who weren't going to take it no more. There were a lot of black folks who were riders, who were just not going to take it anymore. And they sacrificed themselves. These were the brothers and sisters fighting, going to jail. A lot of them got killed. A lot of them really put in some work. And the work they put in, kind of paved the way for the John Lewises and these other folks to kind of piggyback off that. And some of these people who weren't even out there marching or fighting at all, who just kind of jump and ride that wave and act like they were out there putting in work. And so there was a lot of scary Negroes out there who weren't doing a damn thing, who were saying that Dr. King was keeping up trouble, Malcolm X was keeping up trouble. They weren't doing nothing. But if you let them talk about it, they sound like Huey fucking P. Newton. They act like they were out there in a leather coat and a black beret with some leather gloves beating up police. If you let them talk, that's not the case. But they ride that wave. And again, the real cats sacrificed themselves for now we got James Clyburn talking about he was out there in the struggle. This plantation Negro wasn't doing nothing. But understand, we did have some riders out there. We had some riders, some of the unsung heroes that are not talked about. We did have some riders. And in the 1960s, family, that decade, 1960 to around 1971, family, do you know there were over 1,000 uprisings in this country? Family, in the 1960s, that decade, there were thousands, over 1,000 uprisings all over this country. Black people were kicking up dust heavy. That was a threat to the white supremacist social order. So what they started to do, they had to come up with a way to fix that. So what they would do, instead of rectifying white supremacy, no, they started to say, okay, black folks fighting against racism, that's a mental problem. So they started to use biochemical buck breaking, okay? When they started to integrate the schools, as we know, they started giving the black kids behavioral drugs in the 70s. That drug thing became very big in the 70s. Yes, you didn't know it was about, yes, they don't tell you that. In the 1960s, there were riots heavy, uprisings heavy that they don't tell you about. They do not tell you about, especially in 1967, 1968. They don't tell you about this stuff. Yeah? So they said, look, we got to do something about these macho-ass Negroes fighting us like this. Because at the time, they didn't have SWAT. SWAT and all that stuff, that was developed after the riots in the 60s, especially in Los Angeles. It was actually the SWAT teams and all that. That was developed, the Special Weapons and Tactics Unit. That was because of the Watts riot. They had to create whole new units to handle black people fighting guerrilla warfare. See, what black people were doing, they were engaging in guerrilla warfare, and the problem is you don't have a real defense for that. Okay, I want y'all to understand how warfare works. You don't really have a real defense for guerrilla warfare. Now, a bunch of niggas saying, hey, we're going to show up at 5 o'clock with our guns. Now, yeah, you got them niggas. That's some shit you got. But when cats just kind of pop up out of nowhere and start, bam, clapping folks, that's a very dangerous thing for the white supremacists because they had no defense for that. So what they needed to do, they said, okay, well, look, we're going to have to covertly slow grind these Negroes. They had to start using all types of bioweapons and biochemicals and drugs. They started to promote drugs heavy with black people, legal and illegal. Okay? Legal and illegal. Yeah, see, that's the narrative that we just took abuse. That ain't the case. That's the narrative that we're told that we just sat around and took abuse until some good white folks helped us out. That's not true. But listen, in the 70s, they started giving that Ritalin. They started hitting the black kids with drugs. They started drugging us at a very young age. They started hitting us at a very young age, and also black adults. And I put this up on my Twitter feed the other day. This is an ad, family. I want y'all to see this ad. This is an ad from a medical journal from 1974. This is an ad from 1974 for a drug called Haldol that's being used in prisons to this day. Family, they would just be outright open with the racism. When white supremacists get desperate, They just leave all the pretexts out the window and just go right for the jugular. So in this photo, in this magazine ad for a medical journal, they have a black man with a black fist balled up with a glove, and he's very angry, and you see the background, it's like a fire burning, it's like a riot. That's supposed to imply a riot going on. And it says, assaultive and belligerent cooperation begins with Haldol. So this was a drug they were telling people to give black people when you arrest them, when you get them locked up or whatever, give them this. And this is going to calm their asses down. You understand? We talk about some of this stuff in the Buck Breaking movie, but I'm just letting y'all know how deep they were with this chemical bio-warfare. Yeah, he looks like James Brown, don't he? And James Brown was very popular at that time. He looks like James Brown. He looks like James Brown. James Brown was very popular at the time, a big proponent of the black movement. So this Haldol was used to do a couple of things. Number one, mess with your testosterone, calm you down. Also, it's used to effeminize. So they got to calm you down so that you don't want to fight. You got to be sedated. And also, you become feminized. All right? Now, this was in the 70s. Do y'all know they still got stuff like that right now? But now what they do, they promote the drugs to you and you take it, and they make recreational drugs do the same thing. They make recreational drugs do the same thing. And they promote it through the media, through the music, same thing. Through even the weed is tainted. A lot of folks, you up here smoking weed talking about, oh, I'm smoking this natural weed. That weed is not natural. The weed you smoking is not natural. The weed y'all smoking is laced up with so many chemicals, it's damn ridiculous. We break some of this stuff down in the Buck Breaking movie. This is why this is the most important movie of the next 5 years, of the last 5 years. This is a very important movie you guys need to see. Yeah, the marijuana that y'all smoke, because I don't smoke that bullshit. I don't smoke at all. But the marijuana y'all smoke, man, has all types of stuff in it that's messing with your testosterone. Women, it's messing with your estrogen. That's why we got these studdish women and these moist dudes running around here. You understand? This is some heavy stuff. And they promote stuff in the music now. In the music, what you hear people rapping about, Percocets, popping mollies, all that stuff. That is to sedate you. That's by design, family. This stuff is to sedate your ass. And let me tell you something. It worked. How do we go from over 1,000 uprisings in the 1960s to about 4 or 5 in the last 40 years? There's not been a lot of uprisings in fighting against white supremacy. I mean, recently, after the George Floyd get down, folks woke up out of their high, and now we better watch. See, right now, that's why they're so heavily promoting stuff to us now to kind of neutralize our asses. But again, those drugs that they gave and those drugs that they started to promote, that shit worked. They got dudes all docile now. Cats ain't really fighting. Cats ain't really putting in no work like that. Let's be real. It makes you lethargic. It just makes you go along to get along. It takes the fighting spirit out of you. So now, when the police show up, as we saw in these uprisings now, we saw there was a few riders putting in some work for a hot minute, but then they got taken over by the dudes out here twerking. Now dudes go to the protests You see the police and then you pop your pussy open and throw it in a circle. When you have dudes out here twerking at protest, there's something else going on here. You see? And the brothers who are the real riders, they get taken out. Our brother Nipsey, Darren Seal, our brothers who are the real riders, we get taken out or attempted to be taken out. They come at my ass. You dig? But let's go back to the 70s, guys. In the 70s, when they started to introduce drugs as a new weapon, as a new bioweapon, when we look at people like Tookie Williams and all these guys, a lot of the reasons they were doing so much damage within the community is because these dudes were all whacked out on that damn PCP. That's another thing. They flooded the area with PCP, Sherm sticks. They were promoting that within black society. You understand? So they knew cats who were sitting up here PCP'd out, or they're going to turn on each other. Yeah, black masculinity was a major threat. And this is what they said. Black masculinity is a major threat. It's always been a major threat. They understand. We got to feminize those Negroes. So this is why, as you see, now let's fast forward. We just saw the uprising about the George Floyd situation, and that was really because of a lot of the systematic white supremacy that was going on. George Floyd was just the wick to the candle, to the dynamite rather. So now they're going hard body trying to promote transgenderism within black society, the LGBT stuff, LGBT. See, they want to get our kids. See, they're trying to get our generation of kids right now. You see, they're trying to, Angel does all that stuff in the 70s. So they're trying to get our kids now. So they want to get them and indoctrinate them early. This is why they're trying to promote LGBT stuff in schools. And I'm talking about in like first, second grade, where you shouldn't even be talking to children about stuff like that. And now they have the Equality Act, which they just passed. Look at the words. See, this is why we're running around talking about we want equality. All they do is co-opt whatever words we sit up here and let them promote. We got to watch that stuff. The Equality Act. Look at how deceptive that is. We talk about equality. We mean being treated equally as human beings because of the systematic white supremacy we're subjected to. Not equality meaning you want to, go get a sex change. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, Prozac, that's another thing that was pushed in black society. Notice this whole thing where black people, we need to check on black people's mental health. Black people mental health, black people mental health. What's up, son? Why are you crying? So we need to check on black people's mental health. What they want to do, they want to get us in these doctor's offices so they can start prescribing these drugs on our ass. And notice how they incentivize, what's up guys? Notice how they incentivize black people to get these little crazy checks. There's a lot of black folks who are not working. They sit at home and get them a little old crazy check every month. So you got to go in here, get a little checkup. You get regular checkups. They put you on some kind of medication and then throw you a little old crazy check. You understand? Mateo's probably crying because his Happy Meal fell down or something. Yeah, they give you Ritalin. Yeah, they gave me Ritalin when I was a kid. I got off of it real quick because that shit had me bugged out. Yeah, Prozac is still being prescribed today. Yeah. But our great sister, Dr. Welsing, was even back in those days in the 70s with her black patients when she was understanding black mental illness. She was the first person to honestly trace it back to white supremacy. The problem with black folks, our problem is We're in a system of white supremacy that makes you crazy. And you're crazy when you don't understand it, family. See, veterans, that's another thing. Those black veterans, they made sure they doused them with all types of drugs because these brothers went overseas and went to other countries and they had all those combat skills. So they said, let's whack these niggas out so they don't use them skills on us. Because we saw what happened to brothers in the military like Micah Johnson, Gavin Long. They were military guys. So they really had to drug the brothers who were in the military. A lot of those brothers ended up on heroin and a whole bunch of stuff. They got hooked. They really had to get those brothers. You understand? And Dr. Wilson was one of the first people to say, no. The problem is systematic white supremacy. That's what the problem is. That's what's making black people crazy. See, it's very important for us as black people to not be in denial about the situation we're in. See, we got to be very honest and straight up with it. And I see black people, we get frustrated because what happens is when you're treated unfairly by a system that's supposed to protect you, you don't know what's going on. You're like, you're trying to explain yourself to a race soldier, not knowing he's a race soldier. When the cops show up, you're trying to explain things to him logically. Listen, officer, I didn't do anything. What had happened was, and put your hands down. Why are you talking to me like this, officer? I didn't do anything. Then all of a sudden they're beating your brains out. You get a charge for assaulting a cop. You're like, wait a minute, how am I in jail? I didn't do anything. Now I'm in jail. I done lost my job. We got to understand this, family. When you go to jail, especially for these humbug charges, that takes a toll out on your employment, your family. That takes you take a financial hit when we're already financially hurting as black people. So then we get targeted by the race soldiers. So now you got to fight the damn case. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. Some random person just called the police on me. They thought I looked like a shoplifting suspect. Oh my God, why is this happening to me? And you start freaking the hell out, not understanding that you're in a system of white supremacy. We got to understand the system we're in. I saw a video recently, a brother, I forgot where it was, but the brother had got into an altercation with his baby mama, and then the cop showed up, and the cop is all calm, and the brother's like, I didn't do anything. I'm on the phone with my mama right now. And the police officer is pressing his buttons, trying to escalate it, and I can already see it's going to go somewhere foul because the dude is emotional. When I see a nigga who's emotional, I said, oh God. And the police, when they see it, you already know where it's going. Family, when I see a video of the race soldiers pull up on a nigga and then he start talking about, I didn't do nothing, man, I know my rights, it's a wrap. He's done. I already know he's going to either get killed or arrested. That's what they look for. Let me tell you something. The race soldiers look for that emotional nigga who's confused about racism. That's what they look for. Oh, he's one of them niggas. Oh, he's one of them I know my rights niggas. Oh, okay, got it. We're going to need backup right about now. This is going to be a doozy. When you start talking that I know my rights shit, they start calling backup because they already know they got your ass. They already know. Black folks, you better understand racism, and you don't have the luxury to be in denial, especially my young black people. I'm talking to my kids here. My young black folks, my teenagers, if you're listening, I want you to feel me. Forget about what your coon mama and your coon daddy has said to you. When you go out here and a race soldier hems you up, you are in danger. You are behind enemy lines. You better stay calm. You do not have no fucking rights. Don't start talking all that dumbass, I know my rights. You don't have no rights. We're in a system of white supremacy. Nigga, the laws are toilet paper to the white supremacists. They use the I'm white and I say so law. That is the only law that governs this country. When they accost you, they're going to push your buttons because they want you to get emotional to justify them doing something to you because they are incentivized to harm you. You better be quiet and cool and go along with the program. Hope if they're going to arrest you, go ahead. Because all that telling them you got rights and all that, you are not making anything better. There are no black cops or anything. You ain't got no black muscle that's going to come and back you up. I want y'all to get off that I know my rights shit. What rights do you have, black folks? Yeah, don't let niggas hit you with that sovereign citizen bullshit either. That's another thing. Well, I'm going to go tell them I'm from Morocco. I'm a subject of Morocco, and I got a Moroccan flag in my trunk. And actually, I wasn't driving. I was technically traveling. And if I'm traveling, you have no jurisdiction over me. And I see Negroes, and I think it's white supremacists low-key promoting that because they want black folks to walk into a trap. Just because, and I've seen a couple of videos where Negroes did all that whooping and yelling, and the cops kind of chilled out. Not because this nigga was saying some shit that's going to get the cops hemmed up, but the cops probably just didn't really have anything on the person. Probably really didn't have anything on you. And there were probably witnesses around that they didn't want to put in work around. They want to put work in around them witnesses. That's the thing. When there's a lot of witnesses around, they got to kind of be cool. Yeah, all that, I is a private citizen, some shit y'all to learn in jail, because that's where niggas pick that shit up from. They pick it up in jail. Listen here, cracker. You do not have jurisdiction over my vehicle because I am traveling. Do you have a license? I do not need a license because I am from the original Turtle Island. And the thing is, me being from Turtle Island, I am a subject of Morocco and under Morocco rule. Speaking of law from 1791, court case 5928, I do not have to identify myself to you. Well, if you don't get out the car, I'm going to beat you. According to case study 9583, you shall not beat a Moroccan citizen who is sovereign and not up. Wait a minute. Hey, this is illegal. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait. This is illegal. Hold on, you done knocked my faz off. You hit my faz. They'll knock your faz off, and now you're talking about it's illegal. All right. When they knock off your faz, then what you gonna do? They illegally beat me. Oh. As you sit up in this jail with other niggas, okay. Listen, they were not supposed to incarcerate me. Every nigga in jail says that, by the way. When you go to jail, nobody's supposed to be in there. Everybody in jail has a story about how they shouldn't be in there. First of all, it was illegal to obtain the cocaine in my house without a warrant. I had a brick, but they took it. They didn't have a warrant. You're supposed to have a warrant. According to the law, according to the statutes, stop. Y'all play that game if you want to. Y'all play that game if you want to, dude. You get a sovereign beatdown. Because if you sovereign and they can't do all this stuff to you, who's going to enforce it? That's the thing. Who are you going to get to enforce it? What law enforcement agency are you going to get to enforce it? Who, the FBI? The FBI is on the take. You mean J. Edgar Hoover's FBI, the same FBI that killed black people under the Constitution? Nobody's going to protect you. Who, the UN? Nobody's going to protect you. Nobody. Nobody's going to enforce the laws. That's the thing. That's what the white supremacists understand. They understand that there's no government body that's going to enforce the laws that protect black people. Nobody's going to enforce those laws. Yeah? They understand that. So again, we better understand the situation we're in. And we better understand the warfare that they wage on us. See, knocking us up in the head. See, that's kind of bad for business. See, that's a last resort. But when they do that, we start waking up and fighting back. If you hit us enough times, oh, like, hey, wait a minute. Oh, we're going to stop that. So the white supremacists have to come up with more ways, more covert ways to neutralize us. And like my brother Ice-T said, when it comes to the music game, you want to know what kind of music is out there, you follow the drugs. The music game follows the drugs. If you look at the early rap, early hip-hop, 80s, a lot of it was like real party time upbeat because everybody's on cocaine. A lot of those rappers from the early 80s, them niggas was on cocaine. Everybody in the house, they were going to the club, trying to be like Studio 54. They were going to the club, snorting cocaine. They make some money to snort some goddamn cocaine. These niggas was high on coke. A lot of your favorite rappers from the early 80s were very high on cocaine. All right? So a lot of the rhymes, it was those party rhymes. It was a lot of those party rhymes. So everything was party, throw your hands in the air. Everything was a party. Yeah, well, even the names, Coke LaRock, Curtis Blow, Love Bug Star Ski. Ski means cocaine. Whenever you had rappers with the name Ski in their name, Ski means a pile of cocaine, like a pile of snow. That's what Ski means. There was a lot of cats with the name Ski in their names. Yeah? So that was the thing. Partying, you own cocaine, and you're just rapping about really a lot of miscellaneous stuff. And you would rap for a long time because it was that cocaine just made you want to party all the time. Just like the early rap records were very long. Like Rapper's Delight was very long. It was like 7 minutes long. So cat wasn't even no hook. Niggas just be rapping, just like cokeheads be doing. Just be talking. About random shit. You ever went over a friend's house to eat and the chicken just ain't no good? Just rapping about anything. I look good and I look fly. I fucked a bird in the sky. Niggas just rap about anything. That's cocaine. I'm rapping hard and I'm rapping good. Ate me a dog in the neighborhood. Just 15-minute ass rap. Long ass raps, no hook, just going on and on and on and on. And then in the mid 80s, cats started hitting that cocaine. Cats started hitting that cocaine, so the rhymes got a little more animated. Cats, you got a hit of that crack, and everybody started yelling. Cats started yelling in the rhymes and screaming, and the rhymes, it had a more rock and roll type of edge. That's what Run DMC and all that rock, it became a little more hard-edged. Yeah? It's like that, and that's the way it is. It got a little harder. There's a lot of yelling going on. And then, cats start rapping about gangster shit. Yeah? They start rapping about real gangster shit. The beats were hard. It was like crack. The beats were harder. Everything, it was hard. It wasn't partying no more. Then it became, people rapping about struggling because, you done smoked up all your VCRs and your TVs, you done smoked up everything with the crack. So, yeah, it became, rock and roll-ish almost. All right? It was crack raps, the king of rock. And, it was like the beats got very harder. The beats got real hard. Yeah, a lot of yelling in the mid-80s. Wasn't no clubbing. It was just everything was hard. Living in the hood, hard, struggling, hard, struggling. And then in the 90s, what happened? The chronic, the weed, everything got real smooth. Everything got real smooth. The music got real mellow. Everybody started slowing down a little bit. It got real smooth and mellow. That weed. Yeah? So the music was good, but again, cats were on that weed. Everybody's smoking weed. So now it's a very mellow, funky R&B vibe now. So now everybody's chilling out. It ain't about just going to the club. It's about just kicking back, driving, and smoking on something in the sunshine. Got it? So now, modern times, you got dudes talking about Mollies and Percocets and scissor, drinking on lean. Now the Molly and Percocet stuff, it's a bunch of mushmouth niggas. So now with the Mollies and the Percocets and those type of drugs, now you got dudes just mushmouthed as hell now. You don't know what they're talking about. A lot of them. Yeah. But even different regions, just like down there in Texas, that lean and syrup and scissor and all that music, that DJ Screw, that's that whole vibe, that chopped up and screwed. That's somebody, when you sipping on some syrup or some lean, that's what you listen to. That shit sounds hella crazy when you on some lean. When you listen to like that whole vibe, that chopped and screwed vibe of Texas, it feels like you on lean when you listen to it. Yeah? Yeah, it's heavy. So a lot of the drugs have to do with a lot of things that we see in the culture. Look at the drugs that's introduced and then look at the culture of the music. Yeah? Look at the culture of the music. And now that, they putting stuff out here making niggas moist. So now look at the rappers now. Niggas wearing blouses and fingernail polish. Yeah. There's niggas out here with rouge and dresses on and flip-flops, little old niggas. You don't know what's going on with them. Yeah? So we got to understand the culture and how that culture works. We got to understand the culture. But now, speaking of drugs now and the youth now, we done put in Biden. Y'all done put in Biden. Y'all got Biden in here. And Biden put that transgender person in a certain prominent position. And the transgender person, they were asking the transgender person about some policies that they're trying to push. Okay, this goes back to the Equality Act. So they got the Equality Act that they pushed, which is going to give more rights to white LGBT people, which they already had rights. What this does is just help them criminalize us and help them get away with pushing stuff on us. But listen to this. I want y'all to listen to this. This is the transgender person. I forgot the person's name or what the person's position is, but it's a prominent position that Biden then put this person in. Now listen to this.
For transgender person.
The specific question was about minors. Let's be a little more specific since you evaded the question. Do you support the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and/or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia? You have said that you're willing to accelerate the protocols for street kids. I'm alarmed that poor kids with no parents who are...
That right there, that raised my antenna. Okay, they're trying to do all this for street kids. Okay, that sounds like a code word for black kids. So I want y'all to hear what this man is saying. They are pushing together with this Equality Act, from what I understand, a policy now where they can go into schools or they can go anywhere and they can go get a minor, go get a kid, and coax this kid into saying that this kid wants a sex change, and they can give this kid drugs without any parental consent. They can even remove, castrate breast or genitals. That's castration, guys. Watch the words. That's castration. That's neutering. You can remove a child's genitals. What the hell? Whoa. Oh, listen to this now. I want y'all to film me on this one. Hold on.
The question, do you support the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia? You have said that you're willing to accelerate the protocols for street kids. I'm alarmed that poor kids with no parents who are homeless and distraught, you would just go through this and allow that to happen to a minor. I would hope that you would have compassion for Kira Bell, who's a 23-year-old girl who was confused with her identity. At 14, she read on the internet about something about transsexual. She thought, well, maybe that's what I am. She ended up getting these puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones. She had her breasts amputated. But here's what ultimately she says now. And this is a very insightful decision from someone who made a mistake, but was led to believe this was a good thing by the medical community. I made a brash decision as a teenager, as a lot of teenagers do, trying to find confidence and happiness, except now the rest of my life will be negatively affected, she said, adding that the medicalized gender transitioning was a very temporary, superficial fix for a very complex identity issue. What I'm alarmed at is that you're not willing to say absolutely minors shouldn't be making decisions to amputate their breast or to amputate their genitalia. For most of our history, we believe that minors don't have full rights and the parents need to be involved. So I'm alarmed that you won't say with certainty that minors should not have the ability to make the decision to take hormones that will affect them for the rest of their life. Will you make a more firm decision on whether or not minors should be involved in these decisions?
Senator, transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field. And if confirmed to the position of Assistant Secretary of Health, I would certainly be pleased to come to your office and to talk with you and your staff about the standards of care and the complexity of this field.
Let it go into the record that the witness refused to answer the question. The question is a very specific one. Should minors be making these momentous decisions? For most of the history of...
Wow, okay, and that's heavy, man. I played the whole thing because this person wouldn't even answer. That's another thing. When you start asking them, what do y'all mean by y'all gonna come teach LGBT history? What do you mean by y'all gonna perform certain procedures without parental concern? I mean, what exactly are you going to do? They start changing the subject and doing all of this hemming and hawing. You understand? And people are asking them direct questions. So are you going to give this to a minor without consent, which is what they're going to do because they've done it already. Now, the Kira Bell lady that he spoke of in here, this is Kira Bell, by the way. The black girl over there in the UK. Some shit was with Tavistock, the Tavistock Institute, and we know about them. There's a whole book on them, how a lot of that stuff come out of these little think tanks, especially Tavistock. But the Kira Bell person, it's a black girl that they transformed into a man. She didn't like it, so she wanted to go back to a woman. But they done messed her body up. She's like, well, shit, I'm grown now. I mean, I don't know why they did this to me, knowing that I'm a kid. I didn't know no better when I was a kid. I didn't want all this shit done to me. So somebody probably coaxed her into saying so. See, this is what they do, family. They'll sit up and say, I want to teach you about sexuality and LGBT. What's that? Well, transgenderism, that's when if you feel like a boy, you can get turned into a boy. If you're a girl, well, I'm a tomboy. Do you want to be a boy? I don't know. Why would I want to be a boy? Well, boys have fun. Boys get to do a lot of stuff. Oh, I want to be a boy. Okay, well, look, we're going to give you these drugs. You don't have to tell your mommy. You don't have to tell mommy. You see? And you're going through puberty. This is going to stop you from growing your little breasts. See, this is what they do. And they'll do it with a little boy, too. Okay, look, we're gonna take you to get that little wee-wee cut off. See, this is how they can get away with doing stuff legally, riding it on these little these little programs and all that stuff. See, we better, black folks, y'all, we can't co-sign every damn thing. Black folks, you cannot co-sign everything without understanding how it's going to be used against you. You cannot co-sign every damn thing. Come on, black folks, because you're going to be the one they're targeting first. Family, they've always targeted black people with sex changes. The first legal sex change was done at Johns Hopkins University on a black man. They've always done this. And also in the 60s, they were talking about, and we talk about this in buck breaking, they're talking about using sex changes and all that to stop that black male hostility. They were talking about using that as a remedy to the black male hostility. They were openly talking about this in the 60s. Boy, I can't wait till y'all see Buck Breaking, man. This is so, I've never done a movie that's this timely. Nothing is this timely. I mean, nothing is this timely as this movie, man. Very timely film that we got coming out. And it's going to be, hopefully it'll be out next month. We're pretty much done with it. I mean, y'all got to see the Buck Breaking movie, man. This is so very important. You understand? But we got to watch out, folks. Watch out for these bioweapons that they're trying to throw at us. And black folks, did y'all see Obama? Obama was talking about, where was that shit he's talking about? Hold on. Let me find that. Hold on. Obama's out here trying to cop please. Okay, here it is. Obama's out here talking about, Obama says white resistance and resentment stopped him from pushing reparations. So what Obama's punk ass, speaking of moist, Obama's out here running around trying to pretend that he was all for reparations, which he never was. But now his popularity is gone with black folks. He's trying to pretend that he was all for it, but it was just, the white resistance is what stopped him. And the mean old white people, he couldn't say nothing about it. Man, please. Man, we as foundational black Americans, we've dealt with white resistance since 1526. We don't give a damn about no white resistance. That's coward talk. Don't come, he's pump faking, man. The hell out of here. Don't come out here with all that bullshit now, after the fact. No, brother, you didn't want no reparations. You were towing the line for the white supremacists like a do-boy, like a non-FBA do-boy you are. Just sit on down, dude, and take your L. You weren't going to pass nothing. You didn't do one single solitary thing to help black people, Obama. You or your administration, y'all didn't punish one race soldier for harming all of those black people under your administration. You didn't do anything. Oh, man, I had meant to do something, but what I wanted to do, my hands were tied. Oh, stop it. They love playing that game. No, you were a big nothing burger for black folks, man. That's why black folks ain't riding with you like that. And white folks ain't riding with you. See, the thing is, people kind of follow our lead as far as that. People see that we don't give a shit about the damn Obamas no more because we see how fraudulent he was. Now, white people ain't really tapping up on him like that. So they just kind of running around, whatever, bored. Ain't nobody thinking about your ass. When your name come up, it ain't like we gleaming and beaming with pride. They're not. Notice you don't see a bunch of Obama murals all over the country. You notice that? You don't see Obama murals all over the place. Nigga, if we see a mural of Obama, we're going to piss on it. You dig? They didn't punish one race soldier. Obama's a nothing burger. But notice your liberal friends. See, the thing is, white supremacy, there's no left wing and right wing. It's all the same thing. Did y'all see Bill Maher? There's Bill Maher. Where's that thing of Bill Maher. Let me find Bill Maher. Bill Maher was on his show with Megyn Kelly. She's supposed to be right-wing, and they're sounding like twins on here. Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly are sitting up here talking about race, how bad it is, and talking about race makes people racist. So listen to y'all liberal buddy Bill Maher with his homegirl, Megyn Kelly, and we know her get down. So listen to these two talk about race. Hold on.
But you talked about this letter that the school put out.
So this is on the race issue.
Can I read some of the things that are from this letter,
Yep.
unless people think I'm losing my mind? There's a killer cop sitting in every school where white children learn. I'm tired of white people reveling in their state-sanctioned depravity, snuffing out black life with no consequences. Go reform white kids. It bothers me so much that I have to be on this side of this issue.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a civil rights advocate.
Please.
And don't make me Tucker Carlson. You're the fucking nuts. This is insane.
Yep.
As black bodies drop like flies around us by violent white hands, there is racist problems in this country. But this is hyperbole. Mm-hmm. And this is making people crazy.
Yeah.
And children.
Whoa, okay. That's not hyperbole. That's what's happening, dude. Come on, there are racist problems, dude. We have a white supremacist terrorist reign right now. There are racist problems, dude. Bill Maher, you got the luxury to sit here and be in denial about it, dude. You benefit from systematic white supremacy. You benefit from it, dude. Yeah, you gonna sit up here and deny it. Denying it helps you. Yeah, you gonna sit up and deny it. We don't have the luxury of denial. See, Bill Maher thinks he can come around niggas and smoke weed and fuck on the little bed wenches and all that old shit, so that makes him down. This is why I tell y'all, that don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. Yeah, just because he can come down and have gutter sex with some Negroes, he's supposed to be you a civil rights activist? You supposed to be for civil rights because you can come and have gutter sex with a couple of victims of white supremacy? No. You denying it doesn't make it any less true. We have white supremacists in law enforcement. That's not a little racism here and there. That's a major problem that we have. We are in a system of white supremacist subjugation. We are in a racist, terrorist system where black folks are being victimized. We're fighting back so that we don't get completely genocided. If we did not fight back, they would be wiping us out in bigger numbers. The reason why they're not is because we are fighting them back as best we can. But don't sit here and try to minimize this shit that's happening with black folks, and you got 9-year-old black kids getting pepper sprayed by race soldiers. This is not hyperbole. That shouldn't be happening at all. There shouldn't be one incident, because the thing is, when the Asian people, they're getting caught up in random crimes, they're making a real big deal out of that. Oh, that's an epidemic. A handful of Asian people are just getting normally robbed like they normally do. Let's be clear. There's nothing abnormal about getting robbed. Nobody's exempt from getting robbed. What they're doing now, they're just focusing on Asian people who get robbed and trying to pretend that there's some type of concerted, organized epidemic of Asian people getting robbed. And that ain't true. And they're trying to make us the face of it, which is definitely not true. Then all of a sudden they got task force and all that old shit for that. And executive orders for that. But when it comes to us talking about white supremacist terrorism, yeah, there's some racism here or there. No, it ain't here or there. There's a complete system of it. And it's a major problem. And see, the Bill Mahers of the world, they like to talk about racism, white supremacy, as long as they can just dump it on Trump. See, Bill Maher didn't have a problem with it as long as he can dump it on Trump. I told y'all about that. As long as they can say, yo, that old racist Trump, oh, that Trump and those alt-right, oh, those Trump. So now Trump ain't in office no more. Trump ain't in office no more. So now that Trump ain't in office no more, y'all gonna have to eat it too, because we're seeing the same shit under you. They thought when Trump got out of office, were we supposed to stop talking about the shit that they're doing? No, y'all still doing it. Y'all doing it worse now that Trump is out, because now y'all putting policies together that's actually harming black people. You know? I heard about that. It was a white school teacher recently who told the black kids that Breonna Taylor caused her own death. That's not a little racism problem. You got teachers teaching this bullshit to black kids. That's not a little racism problem. Okay? See, that's that whole black folks deserve it bullshit. We don't deserve that. And we're not going to talk about racism on your terms that makes you feel comfortable, motherfucker. It's very uncomfortable going out not knowing if a ghost skin is going to blow your damn brains out. Black people, we leave our house, we got to hope and wish that the cop that pulls us over ain't a part of a white supremacist gang within the police department, which is a thing. That's not a little problem. Yeah, that's not a little problem. Don't ever let nobody minimize the shit that they're doing to you. Family, we got that database coming up real soon. We're almost done. The database is coming up real soon, by the way, because we're going to be documenting a lot of stuff, family. This database that's going to point out a lot of the anti-black activity that we keep seeing. We're working on that now. Hold on. And we're only going to have a handful of people able to post stuff on it, just so we don't get, just for security issues. Just for security issues. I'm looking at it now. My developers are still working on it. But I want a handful of riders, some of my diehard folks, to be contributors to it in whatever region you're in, because we're going to document everything that happens to us. And I think it'll be done by next week. When I do the broadcast next week, I'm gonna do a walkthrough on it. It's a very concise database that we need. There has not been a database that would document all the anti-black activity that goes on around the country on a daily basis. We're going to have that data. We're going to have it. So I got to get some of my riders. Yes, that's what we're working on now. We're getting everything secured. We got to get the cloud and all that stuff secured with it. You dig? We've never had anything like that. I'll get on Roland's fat ass in a minute, but let me play the rest of Bill Maher talking about his nonsense. Let me play Bill Maher. Hold on.
This is not the way we get to the promised land.
Absolutely not. It's divisive. It's racist.
Okay, yeah, she's such a clown. What's the promised land? What's the promised land, dude? What are you talking about? This is not how we get to the promised land. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Y'all won't stop practicing white supremacy. If you ain't gonna stop it, you don't dictate to us how we react to it, dude. Y'all ain't stopping it anytime soon. You're minimizing it, so you don't plan on stopping it. And you got Megyn Kelly, we're the real racists talking about racism. So yeah.
And it's having exactly the opposite effect of the one they intend. And it is not that all the Black people in our school or other schools are in favor of this kind of talk. My friend Coleman Hughes, who's 24, he's liberal, he was a Biden voter, sure. You know Coleman. He's been speaking out about this as a Black man, saying, how dare you presume to know how I feel?
Okay. We know Coleman Hughes, okay? We know moist ass Puerto Rican Coleman Hughes. We've already exposed him. Again, this is white supremacy 101. See, this is her practicing white supremacy right here, okay? See, you're mad because we're calling out what you're practicing. Getting a Black person who's on the take. Coleman Hughes works for a white supremacist ass anti-Black think tank that puts out a bunch of anti-Black rhetoric. They had him on that reparations panel talking about how we shouldn't get it. This nigga's Puerto Rican. He's not a foundational Black American at all. We've exposed him years ago. You see? I've been telling y'all about these tethers. We exposed that moist tether years ago. So you see how they throw them up? I just told y'all how they throw up random Negroes that they done got. And they didn't screen. See, they're getting frustrated. There's bugs in here. Because, see, all their tactics, we done found out a lot of their tactics. So a lot of their tactics aren't working the way they should. So you can't just bring out these tethered coons no more. We already got a rap sheet on their ass. You see? This is why it's up to us to have the data on folks. This is why it's up to us to get the data on. We done exposed this bitch nigga where we got video of him saying, hey, I'm going to just start identifying as a black American. There's way more money in that. He's a Puerto Rican immigrant. Yeah? So when they start naming their Sambo Negroes, who's going to toe the line for them, this is them practicing white supremacy 101. Okay?
To try to, I mean, it's pejorative to him. Like, the whites are the ones who understand, who are arrogant and in control and work hard, right? These are all the terms now associated with white supremacy. And then the white people feel bad and feel judged because they're told they're white supremacists because of a pigmentation over which they have no control.
Okay, nobody said that. No. You're a white supremacist because of your actions. You're a white supremacist because of your actions. See? All of this lying and deceptiveness, see, that's white supremacy 101. That's white supremacy, all that lying and all your damn deception. Okay? And all of this propaganda that's anti-black. This is anti-black propaganda. Because this sends the message that, well, black people kind of deserve what happened. It ain't that white people are so bad and we got all this white supremacy. They're just conflating everything. It's them. They're really the problem. They're the racists for calling us racist. It's a con game. Hold on.
I mean, this is really damaging. And as you get older, what the studies show is these sort of implicit biased education efforts bring out racism. So if somebody's having racist thoughts in the back of their head, it brings it to the frontal lobe, and more people act on their latent racism than they otherwise would have.
Okay, so family, you heard it from Megyn Kelly, guys. You heard it. It's you, black people. You are making the white people racist. It's your fault. It's your fault that these people have set up a system of economic deprivation, educational deprivation, police terrorism. It's your fault, black people. You made them. White people are just minding their business. Drinking julep tea and eating their little mayonnaise sandwiches, just not hurting a fly. White people, Lord Jesus, white peoples weren't hurting nobody. They weren't hurting nobody. Y'all mean old Negroes just came and just started falsely accusing them of some racism. Lord Jesus, it's y'all niggers who did it. We're hallucinating. It's the drugs, family. We're all hallucinating, making up these lies. We've all got together. Black people got together by the millions, and we said, hey, let's get together and let's all lie on white people. Let's all get together and lie. But when they start quoting coons, well, we have a Negro preacher who agrees with me. Yes, yes. All of these dirty Negroes hating the white people. Remember that coon reverend? I forgot his name. I used to play him all the time. That coon reverend who right after the George Floyd thing, this nigga started crying because white people were getting beat up. This woman is an idiot. She's an idiot. But yeah, they will that one coon out to co-sign him, some moist coon. Oh Lord, look at this. We have to stop the riots. We have to stop it. Oh, stop. The racism must go. We have to teach the Gospels. Oh, we have to teach the Gospels. The blacks are beating up white people. Oh, God. Yeah, what's that fat reverend's name? This nigga's up here crying, talking about they beating up white people. They're killing cops. Oh, they're beating up white cops. Those dastardly Negroes. I can't find the clip. I wish I could find the clip. I got to keep that just on speed dial. Eddie James. Yes. Hold on. Let me find it. That's just a classic clip. Hold on. Oh, where's that Eddie James? Oh, nah, I can't find it. It's not Eddie Long. Is it Eddie James? And that's his name? Faithful Ellen Jones. Where's that clip? I can't find that shit now. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. That's the funniest clip ever. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. Somebody find me that clip. That Eddie James clip. I used to have it. I used to have it on speed dial. This crying Negro. Oh, this Sambo ass Eddie James. Somebody please find that clip. I can't find it right now. Oh, God. Where is it, Eddie James? I can't find it. Yeah, Eddie Long. Now, it's not Eddie Long. You can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to hold the show up right now. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick on YouTube. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
No, this is not real.
This is real, man. It's
Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm looking. I can't find it. Hold on. Okay, tell us. Now I can't find it now, man. Yeah, I can't find it now. If somebody could find it for me, that'd be great. Just to share that clip. It's hilarious. Where he was crying, talking about the cops getting killed and beat up. Shit, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Did y'all see Herschel Walker's son? This nigga was dancing like Beyonce with some shit he was doing. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't find the Eddie George thing, man. I can't find it now. I mean, the Eddie James. I can't find it now, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But speaking of more racism, out there in Oklahoma, there was a game. There was a basketball game, and some black kids they got bussed. They were from what school were they from? John something high school. So they get bused to a game out here in Newcastle, Oklahoma, which is Newcastle is literally the whitest town in Oklahoma. Newcastle, Oklahoma. They bust these kids in there, so they play a game. A lily white school. I mean, this is literally the whitest place. Hold on. Somebody said they got the Eddie James clip. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. 1 second. Hold on. Listen. Oh, here it is. Okay. Somebody found it. Hold on. I'm gonna play it in a minute, but let me play this other clip first. Hold on. I'm gonna play it in a minute, but let me play this other clip. So this game out here. So there's a game, John Marshall High School. So they send these kids to Newcastle. And Newcastle, from what I understand, they kind of have a reputation for some white supremacy out there because, again, they did something to basically ethnically cleanse the place. It's very lily white out there. And one of the black kids, he was walking off court, so a white kid spit on him and they called him some racial epithets. So the black kids basically, they had to fight all of these damn white supremacists. The black kids had to fight their way out of here. And the police didn't escort them out or nothing. The police didn't help them. So yeah, I have a real big problem with this. Hold on. Now these are our kids, man. Our black kids got to go to these little white supremacist enclaves and they got to fight their way out. Hold on, listen. Hold on 1 second. Come on. Okay. So yeah, man, these kids, our kids, man, they got to get out here. They got to get out here and fight their way out. The police didn't help them or anything. And, we sent an ad to the Oklahoma school system. Like, hey, and I might have to call them tomorrow, the Oklahoma public school system, and look at this is their Twitter right here. And they got damn Black History Month on their damn Twitter page. Oklahoma's largest traditional school district, proudly serving 31,000 students. Don't have no Black History Month on your damn page and you're not protecting these damn kids, man. That's not cool. I do not like that. Family, they know that Oklahoma has these little old pockets of hostile-ass white supremacists out there. Oklahoma is full of that. They better take better precautions and protect these black children. Family, what we're going to start doing, we're going to have to start looking into filing federal lawsuits on folks for violating these protection rights. See, the thing is, you got the ACLU and all these people who I don't respect them because they got the resources, they got the whole cachet of lawyers who will file claims for immigrants. If you do something to an immigrant, boy, the ACLU and the Southern Poverty Center, they start filing lawsuits left and right. You do something to somebody LGBT, they start filing lawsuits left and right. They don't do shit when it comes to stuff like this. They don't file lawsuits on our behalf for nothing. You understand? They do not file lawsuits on our behalf, so we're going to have to start getting into that game. That's why I've always asked for black lawyers. Do we have, I ain't talking about the crumps out there. I'm talking about some real brothers and sisters who are some riders who we can get out here and start letting these folks know we're going to start hitting you with these damn lawsuits because we get this blatant violation of laws for us. We don't get the same protection. We need to file federal lawsuits because of that. Especially with these school districts. You let these school districts take these children into hostile ass places like that and don't protect them. That's a problem. That's a problem. We need our black lawyers to holler at us on that shit. Yeah, ACLU is a waste of time. I don't respect none of that shit they do. I would go look at their pages and man, they sitting up here talking about if you bump into somebody who's LGBT or transgender, well, they're going to start hitting you with all types of lawsuits. Any business, if they didn't kiss the asses of a person with a rainbow flag who walked in there, boy, they're going to file all types of suits. They don't do anything to these race soldiers or these little white supremacist enclaves that harm us. Out there in Oklahoma, they know the racial hostility in these little old towns in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is infamous for that, okay? They got a city out there now in Oklahoma that's 3 hours outside of, I want to say Oklahoma City. They got a place called LOM City, also known as LOM Village. This is an openly white supremacist enclave. It's a little town with open white supremacists running the town. And the thing was, Timothy McVeigh, they were saying that he was connected with that town before he went and bombed that damn building. You understand? But it's a little white supremacist enclave. It's an openly white supremacist town. It was founded by white supremacists. I guess they let it go on because they call it a private community. I don't know what that means. It's a private community. But it's a bunch of white supremacists just chilling. LOM City out there in Oklahoma. Yeah, they tried to deny that they were connected with the Oklahoma City bombing, which I believe they were. Yeah. I believe they were. So some of y'all live in Oklahoma City. Let me tell you something about Oklahoma. Because see, Oklahoma, they've always had these little old cowardly ass white supremacists. Oklahoma is full of coward ass white supremacists. Weak, cowardly fucking white supremacists in Oklahoma. They got a lot of them, and a lot of them are cowards. When we go back to that Tulsa riot, I want y'all to understand something about that. And this is why we better understand history. A lot of people, a lot of narratives is that black people were just kind of, minding their business and just, doing our thing. And, the white supremacists attacked and we had to run and flee, Let me tell you something, what's not being talked about as far as Tulsa. Oklahoma was always an outlaw state, okay? Oklahoma was an outlaw state. You had a lot of black people who were riders. I'm not digging boogers. My nose is itching for some reason, and I know it looks tacky, me scratching my nose. But listen, Oklahoma was kind of an outlaw state. They sent, when the Trail of Tears went out there, they sent a lot of people on the Trail of Tears were black. Damn near half was black. At least 30 to 40%. A lot of them were black out there. A lot of black people in the Trail of Tears. And the black people who were in the Trail of Tears were black people, and I talked about this before, were black people who were formerly enslaved. Many of them were formerly enslaved. Many of them were black Aboriginal people. But many of them were formerly enslaved. Now, why were the formerly enslaved allowed to go to free Indian territory? That's because they fought their way out of slavery and won. Those were the Seminole brothers. That's what we're going to be doing the next movie on. We're going to do the next movie talking about this. They whooped all types of white ass down there in Florida to get their freedom. And they were on that Trail of Tears, so they went out there. So you had some brothers out there who were still kind of putting in work, the John Horses and people like that. So a lot of black people would kind of go out there to be among the Seminoles. A lot of black people would go there for protection. Our brother Bass Reeves, who the Lone Ranger is based on, Bass Reeves beat up his white master. He was a slave. Bass Reeves beat the shit out of his master and then went to Oklahoma to be around the Seminoles for protection. That's how he got away with beating his master's ass. I want y'all to think about this now. Remember, in slavery, if you whoop your master's ass and you left, I mean, they had all types of fugitive slave laws. So they had all types of people who were incentivized to go get your ass. They didn't take their ass over there to get Bass Reeves. Why is that? Because they knew an ass whooping was waiting on them. You had people over there that were still with the business. Now, the Greenwood area, which would become the Black Wall Street, it was a black man named O.W. Gurley. G-U-R-L-E-Y. O.W. Gurley. His family, his parents were slaves. This brother became very rich in real estate. And there was a big oil boom. So O.W. Gurley was one of the founding fathers of the Greenwood Black Wall Street area. Okay? O.W. Gurley didn't take no shit from nobody. And neither did a lot of those black men in Tulsa. The black folks in Tulsa, they would beat the shit out of white supremacists, guys, on a regular basis. That was one of the problems. O.W. Gurley was one of the richest black men in the South, actually, or in the Midwest South, or in the country. He was a very wealthy black man. He was known for whooping ass. He was on a train one time, and some white man called him a darky or something. He jumped off the train, whooped that white man's ass. He said, "What did you call me? I'm going to show you a darky, motherfucker," and whooped that ass. And the thing is, because black people were out there in the Tulsa Greenwood area making so much money, you whoop on a damn white supremacist, they try to charge you. His little money was strong, so he got a lawyer. He beat the case. So that was happening a lot. So a lot of black folks would stand up for themselves against the white supremacists. They wouldn't let the white supremacists come around and smack them up, and damn sure wouldn't let nobody lynch them. You understand? You had a lot of black militias out there. Contrary to popular belief, you did have black militias who stopped a lot of lynching. For the most part, they did not let black people in the Tulsa area get lynched. That was a problem. Because see, white people just kind of wanted to go willy-nilly wherever they wanted to go and start lynching folks. They wouldn't let them do that in Tulsa. So they felt their way. A lot of the stuff that happened in Tulsa, that built up. So you go try to mess with a black person, you get your ass whooped. You try to prosecute the black person. The black person, they most likely had more money than the white person, because remember, in Tulsa, in that Greenwood area, they bragged about their money bouncing 26 times before it left because of the segregation. That actually worked for them. So black people who worked as domestics for other people and black people who worked for other white companies or train companies or whatever, that money would go right back into the black community and compound. So it just, they stacked up all this money. They had all these beautiful hotels, these beautiful businesses. There was an oil boom out there, so you had a lot of black people working for some of these white oil families, and that money would go back into the black community. So segregation had a reverse effect. You understand? The white people weren't expecting that. And also now, when they wanted to go in there and try to, enact some white rule by themselves with like a few groups of them, they would get their asses towed up. And when you try to prosecute the black person, lawyer, I'm lawyered up, nigga. I got big paper. I got lawyers, whoop, whoop, whoop. They wouldn't get prosecuted. Again, there was another case where O.W. Gurley was at a hotel with his wife. 3 white men tried to make a pass at his wife, and that was another thing. White men at that time, during the 1920s and before, white men could just go anywhere and have their way with any sister. It would be nothing for a group of white men to rape sisters. I mean, that was a regular thing that is never talked about. They would rape sisters regularly. I really want us to understand that type of shit that went on in the black community. They would catch sisters slipping somewhere, or if a sister was working as a maid, they would catch them walking to the bus. So, a lot of brothers thwarted that, but, some sisters would get caught slipping. So the white men would try to go into Tulsa and try to pull that shit, and the brothers would light that ass up. They didn't let that happen. They didn't let sisters get raped in Tulsa. O.W. Gurley, that's his name. Look him up, O.W. Gurley. And some white men tried to make a pass at his wife. He whooped all 3 of their asses. He whooped all 3 of their asses. So again, the brothers in Tulsa weren't playing no games. So now when that whole situation with the brother in the elevator with the white girl and the white girl screamed, and then they were going to try to lynch the brother, the black militias went up to the jail and said, no, y'all not going to lynch this brother. So some gunshots rang out, and that's when the Tulsa riot happened. And remember, the first day of the riots, the white people were getting their ass whooped by the brothers. Okay, let's be clear. The white people were losing. That first day of the riot, see, they make it think, oh, black people were running. Oh, Lord Jesus, the white people. No, white people getting their ass whooped by them brothers. They were getting towed up because these cowards were being beat up fair and square. Even, Dick Rowland, that's his name. And even the black people were still outnumbered, but they were still fighting these white supremacists. The problem is that the next day, because they couldn't beat these brothers on the ground, they went and got a damn plane, filled the plane with nitroglycerin, and just started dropping bombs on the black area. And that's what really thwarted the success of the black people. They needed a goddamn plane, which was something that has never been done before on this land. They had to drop a bomb on a black neighborhood in order to squash these black people. That's the only way they won that thing. You understand? People thought O.W. Gurley got killed or lynched during the Tulsa riot. He didn't. He moved to South Central L.A. And he got him a little hotel on Central Avenue, I think. But yeah, he didn't get killed in Tulsa. A lot of people thought he did, but he didn't. But this is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of cowards we're talking about. They're cowards, dude. They weren't really with the shit like that. They had to go get a plane on niggas. They're cowards. This is why we need to know history. They tell us the history that we were just, oh, Lord, they run. No. Toe-to-toe, the white supremacists can't go toe-to-toe with us. They can't go toe-to-toe with us, dude. I want y'all to understand. See, there were a lot of lynchings, but I want y'all to understand there were a lot of black people who stopped the lynchings. There were a lot of black people who said, fuck this lynching shit. You ain't gonna lynch us. You're gonna take a body. You going with us if you try to lynch us. You see? The only time they would really get to lynch black folks, really, if they caught you slipping in the woods by yourself somewhere, they really had to catch you slipping. Or it would have to be a big, massive crowd of like 1,000, 5,000. I mean, you would have to be outnumbered by the thousands. That's why when you look at lynching photos, notice you see thousands of people around because that's what they needed. If it was a little handful of people, we could have got them, and we did. We stopped that shit when it was smaller groups. But they would need thousands of people and the help of the police. Remember, they would... what would happen was they would arrest the black person, put him in jail, so black folks can't get to him. And the sheriffs would often lie and say, oh yeah, he's going to be safe while he's in jail. And then when everybody's asleep, in the middle of the night, the sheriff go get him out, and then they go take him somewhere and lynch him. They would do little shit like that. I want y'all to understand. I don't want y'all to think that we just sat around and let shit happen. No. It was some brothers out here who was with the shit, and they would have to use all these deceptive tactics on us. The white supremacists are cowards, dude. They've always been cowards. And we had brothers out here who were riders. We had some brothers who were riders out here. You know? That's not talked about. You know, and a lot of these cities and towns and streets that still up, we really need to know the history of it. It was another brother who was a slave. Where my Memphis people? Where my Memphis people? Memphis is a city full of riders. Memphis is a city full of riders. To Ida B. Wells, she was out there in Memphis. That sister was a rider. She didn't play no games. Where my Memphis people? Where my Beale Street people? Over there on Beale Street, which is a very big tourist attraction now. Y'all know the history of Beale Street out there? That's the birthplace of the blues, or the home of the blues. One of the birthplaces of the blues. They had our brother W.C. Handy who got his start out there on Beale Street. But Beale Street, B-E-A-L-E-S, Beale Street, no S on the end. But Beale Street was started by our brother Robert Reed Church. Robert Reed Church, who was a slave. This brother was a slave. And that brother, he got Beale Street popping. Yeah. It was Robert Reed Church who got Beale Street popping. And this nigga was gangster with his shit. He was out of slavery. There were a few riots out there. He got shot a couple of times. A white cop tried to accost a sister. He beat a cop's ass. And he got shot in the head. The cop shot him in the head, and he still survived. Yeah, Robert Church was the first black millionaire. That brother had major paper and was a rider. He funded a lot of stuff for Ida B. Wells. He helped Ida B. Wells out a lot. He was a rider. Now, Beale Street, he made a lot of money because he had like pool halls, gambling houses, brothels. Beale Street was the trap. He had legitimate businesses too. Beale Street, that was the trap for a long time before it became this big tourist attraction. That was the trap. That was the red light district. And he made his paper. He made a gang of paper. And it was Ida B. Wells who kind of pulled him to the side and said, hey, brother, you got all this, all these people drinking and all these pool halls and you got all these hoes out here. Sister, brother, you got to do something for you got to kind of clean it up a little bit. It was Ida B. Wells who kind of told him to say, hey, let's put some businesses for doctors and let's put some lawyers. Yeah, he was mixed. He was a light-skinned dude. They whitened him up in the pictures. But he was a black dude, just a light-skinned black dude. He's a light-skinned black dude, but he was very black, though. He knew about his blackness. He whooped a white supremacist's ass. This dude had no questions about his blackness. They try to whiten these cats up now. But yeah, it was our sister Ida B. Wells who he supported. He had a lot of respect for Ida because Ida B. Wells was a rider, and she told him, "Man, you got to clean this up a little bit. We as black folks, we just can't have all these pool halls and all these brothels and all. We got to kind of do a little bit better so we can pass something down to our folks." So you're right, sister. So, this brother started making affordable housing for a lot of the black folks. He was a real thorough dude. Yeah, pimps ran. Yeah, then they were saying that Robert Church was pimping. They were calling him a pimp back in the day. But Beale Street, that was the track. That was the blade for a long time. But it has a deep history. It has a long, deep history. They had legit holistic medicine. Yes, they did. Black people back then were very big on holistic medicine. But black people were the main ones pushing holistic medicine. I want y'all to understand that. That's another thing. White people were afraid of holistic medicines. And that's a very good point you made. Back then, black people were very thorough with those holistic medicines. White people were afraid of it. That's why after slavery, you had all of these hair care companies pop up that black folks were running that were making so much. It was making so much money, like Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker. That's why you had those hair care companies pop up. Yeah, they were sisters who were into herbal medicine, so they played that off. That's voodoo. White people were scared of that shit. Oh, that nigga's practicing voodoo, but they would sneak over there at night to get some of them voodoo remedies, though. You understand? They would get some of them voodoo-ass remedies that black folks have. But understand, it was those sisters and brothers back then using those herbal medicines that were very thorough and very potent back then. That's what made Annie Malone's Poro, that was the name of her hair care line, and Madam C.J. Walker's hair care line pop off. Annie Malone was actually way more successful financially than Madam C.J. Walker. The reason why their stuff sold so well, and I know Annie Malone, she gets kind of underplayed because Madam C.J. Walker, she was the first black woman, a black person to really flaunt their money. When she got her money, she flossed that shit. And that was something unusual for black people because you kind of had to be low key about your money. Yeah? Yeah, a lot of those hair products that Madam C.J. Walker and Annie Malone, it was natural products. And really, it was designed to heal black people's heads. Because after slavery, during the Reconstruction period, you had white traveling salespeople who would go to black folks and sell them these fucked up chemicals. Okay? They would go to black people and sell these things with lye in it, and these skin bleaching balls and all this stuff with lye and all of these harmful chemicals, telling black people, hey, look, I know you Negroes are out of slavery, and look, if you want to get ahead in life, you better look as white as possible. You better try to straighten your hair. You better look as white as you can. So they would sell them all this poison bullshit, and black people would put it in their hair, and it would mess their skin up. It would mess their hair up. You have these snake oil salesmen, and they would just bounce. And black folks are running around here with all types of patches in their hair. Remember the Madam C.J. Walker, the movie where in the beginning of the movie, her hair was all messed up? A lot of black folks' hair was messed up after slavery. A lot of black people's hair was messed up because white people were selling them bullshit. Annie Malone went to a hoodoo woman up there in Illinois, I think. She went to one of these hoodoo women up in the woods, and this hoodoo woman gave her all types of herbs and things that will make your hair grow. And then she got some, for the base of it, some stuff that they use for cows. It was a lubricant for cow nipples or something like that. But it was harmless to the skin, but it was a cool base that would heal. So she mixed all this stuff together, and she was putting it on black people's hair, and it was healing their scalps and helping their hair grow back. And that's why she made so much money. Yeah? Yeah, Madam Annie Malone was way more successful than Madam C.J. Walker. Yeah? Way more successful. So we just have to understand history. So we have to understand history and what really goes on out here. Yeah? But somebody mentioned Roland's ass. We're talking about, hold on, where's this thing with this clip of Roland's ass? I'll play that in a minute. When Roland was trying to throw shots, talking about reparations. But we got to understand the game out here, man. This shit is real heavy. And shout out to my Oklahoma people. Stand on your square. Make sure our kids are good. And we got to look out for our kids because these people are going to start attacking our kids heavy. You understand? I'm going to talk about Roland. I'll get on Roland in a minute. Just type in Eddie James. Here's the Eddie James. This is the Eddie James video we're talking about. The crying pastor. This is the crying coon pastor crying about white people. Hold on. These are the kind of Negroes that Megyn Kelly and her ilk. This is who they like. Hold on. This nigga, hold on.
My heart's hurting because people are killing cops. People are killing white people. This is not the way. And it's going to create more war and more anger. And stirring up more stuff. And we need revival. In a moment, we'll go live so that you can join us in prayer. But I want to encourage you, for those who will be watching, we need as many preachers, as many evangelists to get in the streets and pray and release the gospel and ask for justice. Protect our good officers. Protect all of them. I don't care what their condition of their heart is. No one needs to die. No one else needs to die. No one else needs to die. We need to ask God for his mercy and ask God for his grace.
Oh, God. Give me a knife. Oh, the crying Sambo. Well, the white supremacists start getting that work. The Sambo, crying Sambo.
It's a beautiful...
The crying Sambo pops out. Oh, Lord. Not the white people. Oh. Notice, this is what I don't like about Coons. It's never, we got to pray for the victims of police brutality. It's none of that. I hate niggas like this. We got to pray. Let's pray for everybody except the victims of white supremacy. You notice that? Oh, let's pray. We got to pray for the white people. Oh, let's pray that we need the gospel for all cops. All the cops, they don't deserve this. Oh, don't beat them. Beat those dastardly Negroes. Oh, Lord, no. Why are they hurting white people? What about the niggas? Oh, these Negroes deserve it. These devilish Negroes. Oh, this nigga didn't say nothing about no black folks. This is a big, burly, buck-dancing, butter biscuit-eating Sambo, man. A big, juicy coon. Yeah. All that forgiveness stuff is only for white people. Understand? When niggas talk about forgiveness, that means white people. You don't forgive other Negroes. Forgiveness is for white people. That's coon talk. Anytime you hear a nigga talking about forgiving, that means for white people. You don't forgive Negroes. But nigga is still $5. Oh, I killed that Negro. Punish him to the fullest extent of the law. A white person kill your mama. Oh, I forgive him. Oh, what we need is a time of healing. We need the gospel as my mother deserved it. Big ass juicy coon. Oh, I hate these niggas. I hate them with a passion. Oh, I hate these niggas with a passion. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Lord. And speaking of juicy coon, Roland Martin and them guys were on here talking about reparations, and Martin was trying to throw shots at us. He tried to throw his little shots, and they had Greg Carr on there and some other bootlicks, some other known bootlicks. And they're making, and I really low-key don't want to give him shine. Roland, they're making the dumbest ass arguments for reparations, trying to include other people. And this is what we don't want. See, this is how Roland and those guys will mess up everything, trying to include all these other people into our reparations claim. Now listen to Roland and his crew here. Listen to this BS. Hold on. Okay.
Incident, and that was a specific remedy for that. I had to then, and these people try and tell me, well, no, but it never happened with black people. Well, actually, the black farmer settlement is an example of a specific remedy for a specific group.
No, nigga. No, the black farmer thing, that's some Democrat bullshit they used to say with Obama. The black farmer, that's a small group of farmers ain't got nothing to do. We're not living vicariously through no damn farmers. There was a specific lawsuit that was filed. There was a lawsuit that was filed. I'm not living vicariously through somebody else's damn lawsuit. Roland is so full of shit. The farmers, there was a specific lawsuit. We're not going to look at somebody else's lawsuit as a form of reparations for us. that was specifically for black people. No, nigga, no. It don't work like that. That was a specific group of people who filed a specific lawsuit in a specific industry, the farming industry. We're not going to live vicariously through some farmers who filed a lawsuit. No, we're not playing that game. They like to talk about that farmer lawsuit, and that lawsuit had been dragging on for years, by the way. The lawsuit with them farmers, they've been dragging that lawsuit for years, okay? So they ain't had nothing, that ain't got nothing to do with all of us and slavery. No, that's Boule Coon talk, but okay. Hold on, let me play the rest of this. Again, and I almost hate playing, because Roland's stuff, his arguments are so in bad faith, we know he's full of shit. It's like, okay. But anyway, but I'm just letting y'all see how the Democratic Boule bootlicks get down. Hold on.
One of the things that I was talking to a lawyer who supports reparations, he says that he believes a stronger argument for African Americans is to use the Jim Crow laws of redlining in federal housing policy, because there are African Americans who are still living who were impacted by that. And that's actually in terms of you're making an argument to create legal redress, opposed to the argument of slavery coming forth. Your thoughts?
No. Here they go. This is immigrant coon tether talk. Jim Crow means us immigrants can be a part of that. That's what that is. Well, let's try to get reparations based on Jim Crow. No. That means immigrant groups can be a part of that, and that's going to dilute everything. Also, white Hispanics can start using the Jim Crow shit. Asians can start using the Jim Crow. See, that's going to dilute everything. No. That's going to dilute everything. That's coon talk. That's coon immigrant talk. All right? See, you watch them. See, you better watch this language that they're putting out there, and these talking points. No, we're rejecting that. No, we're talking about slavery for foundational black Americans. Those are two different things. We're talking about two different things. We got to get this slavery thing straight first. Roland knows he ain't qualified to get no damn slave reparations, and a lot of these other tethers are not. They know that. So they're trying to move it up so they can dilute the shit. Okay? Because let's be clear. The name of the game with a lot of these immigrant tethers, they don't want us to get shit. They really want us to be wiped out so they can replace us. That's why they come to us with these dumb, asinine ideas that they know is going to ultimately undermine us. I want y'all to be clear on that. That's why all of their arguments are in bad faith. That's why whenever you see somebody come around supporting Biden, talking dumb, all you have to do is look in their background. You find out it's an immigrant Negro from the Caribbean or Africa somewhere. Because they want to give us these stupid ass ideas that they know are not going to work, and they know is going to undermine us, because these niggas know they want us to get wiped out so they can be the replacement. You dig? So let me play the rest of this coon babble. All right. Hold on.
I think we have to start with having a basic understanding of the long struggle for reparations in this country. It begins, ironically, with the theft of Africans to this country. The case of the Amistad being one of the, most prominent cases. But
okay, this is another thing too. We gotta frame this in a way that specifies some of us were brought over, some of the Aboriginal black people were already here. Because what happens is they try to immigrate us. See, we came from somewhere else, we all came from somewhere else, which makes us ultimately comparable to other immigrants. See, we gotta establish the fact that many of us were already here, and the black Aboriginal people were never compensated who were already here, mixed in with the African brothers and sisters who came over later. So we gotta specify that. We gotta watch the way they frame these narratives, but here we go. All right.
Certainly not the only one. When Dred and Harriet Scott sued for their freedom, there's a reparations element in the legal argument they're making. And during the Civil War in Davis Bend, Mississippi, in the Sea Islands of South Carolina, which is where we get the kind of 40 acres and a mule, which Florida's 15 in both of those states. There was the attempt by some of the military to take the land that was confiscated from the traders to the federal government and give it to the formerly enslaved as a form of reparations, and thereby create an invested class of new citizens in the South.
Right.
That was the moment the United States lost the possibility to be anything other than what it is now, which is a deteriorating, failing state. The concept of reparations and legal arguments for it go back right after the Civil War.
Man, I hate when they don't get to the point. They just start babbling. Okay, we know all this. Let's get to the point. Notice when they do all this babbling, they don't get to the point. They're about to come with some bullshit.
Kelly House and the ex-slave mutual pension relief fund, where you had those who said, I was enslaved and I need reparations. Those who are arguing that there's a legal strategy and that it should depend on those who incurred harm are either not aware of the fact that those arguments have been made and dismissed over the years, or they are arguing in bad faith or ignorance. They just don't know. I'm saying all that to say this as a prelude. The question of reparations, and by the way, the shift in H.R. 40 from the years that Congressman Conyers introduced it every session.
Dude, I hate when folks don't get to the point. When they don't get to the point, this is babbling. This is babbling, dude. This is babbling. Well, the point I'm trying to make is more babbling. This is babbling with no point. Come on, man.
Except the session when Barack Obama was president and they had both houses. And, as far as folks who say, this is why you don't make politicians your friends. They may look like you. You may have pride in them. But please understand, politicians do whatever the hell is in their best interest. The change in H.R. 40 now with Sheila Jackson Lee and the one that Congressman Conyers introduced year after year is that it's going to make recommendations. That's the major change. And as someone who has been a member of the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America now for over 20 years, my dear friends Mashariki and Kamal Jawanza in Indianapolis, Mashariki is the female co-chair, the male co-chair, Cam Howard.
Get to the point, man.
Will be testifying next week, a week from I guess today. Understand that this reparations argument is one that is political, it's cultural, and it will be won or lost, not in a courtroom or one specific courtroom or one piece of policy. It will be won as this country concedes to try to remain a country. And this is why I'm trying to,
What? What's he talking about, man? What is he talking about? This is that. Now, he's a part of a reparations committee, and look at this babbling. This is why they've been around for a long time, and they don't get nothing done. You've been a part of a reparations organization for 20 years, and look at this babbling. This is just babbling, dude. The H.R. 40 bill is a joke. Sheila Jackson Lee is a joke. Just the fact that you would have Larry Elder and Herschel Walker on there means you're a joke and you don't take it seriously. When you bring somebody like Herschel Walker into a conversation as serious as reparations and he's there coon babbling, you ain't serious. You putting him on there shows that you don't take this thing serious. So y'all Negroes up here giving Sheila Jackson Lee props, y'all look real funny style right now. Let me play and I know it's babbling. I'm trying to wait for him to get to a point.
Let me be a little bit more specific about this. It's a very important book by Catherine Franke, who's a professor in the law school at Columbia. It's called Repair. She's a white woman, and she says, the missed opportunity to redistribute wealth in this country, which really is not organized around cash money, but property. See, that's why the thing that happened in the wake of the Civil War is so important. If they had transferred that property instead of giving it back to the plantation owners, they went so far, the federal government, to track down the descendants of those who own those plantations and compensate them for the land that had redistributed. If they had done that, we wouldn't be faced with this now. What Franke says is, and this is why the reparations bill is so important, because it's just to build a study and make recommendations. What if you had a heavy investment in community land trusts, community ownership. In other words, a shifting of fundamental nature of the economy of this country to deal specifically as a remedy in terms of race. What if there
No, not as race. No, see, he's trying to babble and then slip bullshit in. Well, a land trust as a remedy to deal with race. No, we're dealing with a specific thing that happened to a specific group of people. Slavery happened to our ancestors, and it affects us as foundational Black Americans. And we were owed something because of that. See, don't try. Watch his words. See, when niggas start babbling, they're trying to slip in some bullshit. All right? You better catch that.
Or a generational tax imposed on those who, by virtue of the fact they are white, inherited a status. See, this is where we don't get into this ADOS foolishness. Everybody slow down, okay? Because it isn't just about who was enslaved. It's about now what attaches to Blackness as a consequence of enslavement.
No, there's the bullshit right there. Boom. Up. No. That was the trick bag. See, that's why he was doing all that babbling. Nope, nigga. No. You're not doing that. It ain't about who was enslaved. It's about what attaches to Blackness. No. That's going to dilute everything. No. People who came over here from other countries, you came over voluntarily. You can't come over voluntarily and then say, hey, look how aggrieved I am. That destroys your whole argument. You came over voluntarily. You did all you had to do to get over here. That will dilute the conversation. That will undermine everything for us. No, we're very specific about who needs reparations and who's owed reparations. Us, foundational Black Americans who descended from the people who were supposed to get 40 acres and a mule. If you came over here from another place that you had to flee from, you already got your damn reparations. You got your reparations by capitalizing off the struggle of our ancestors. And we still deal with the economic and the psychological and spiritual and the cultural debt of that. Okay? He thought he was slick. See, they're trying to be slick by doing all that babbling and then try to slip in the bullshit. Let me play some more of that. And look at how some of these guys are acting now on some old sister girl shit. Now, look at some of this stuff. Hold on.
So I don't care where you come from in the world.
Y'all read the
people of America, Blackness attaches to you as a form of stigma.
Greg.
Now, hold on. Because, see, we're not going to play the one big nigga game. See, that's what white supremacists like to do. We're not going to play the we all just one big nigga game. We ain't playing that. Because, see, every other group, when they come over here, they get into their own little Caribbean and African and all of these little enclaves and then keep all the resources for themselves and exclude us. When we start talking about getting some, all of a sudden we all one big nigga. No, we're not. We are a specific ethnic group with a specific claim. Y'all got y'all claims and y'all got y'all business over there. Knock yourself out. Y'all don't let us be a part of CARICOM. They got a reparations claim in the Caribbean. CARICOM, we're not included in that. We're not included in the African Union when they get together to discuss all the issues and how to come together on issues in Africa. We're not a part of the African Union. So no. We are not we all one big nigga when it comes to us. No, that's tether talk. We ain't playing that game. We ain't playing the tether game. Hold on.
On those who, by virtue of the fact they are white, inherited a status. See, this is where we don't get into this ADOS foolishness. Everybody slow down, okay? Because it isn't just about who was enslaved. It's about now what attaches to Blackness as a consequence of enslavement. So I don't care where you come from in the world.
Y'all read the
people of America, Blackness attaches to you as a form of stigma.
Greg, the ADOS and the foundational Black people gonna be upset with you.
All of you. I want all of the smoke. Because it's baby smoke, number one. And number two, I'm a descendant of those who was enslaved. And number three, bring your best in fact, bring them all. In the words of William Rakim Griffith, I take 7 MCs, put them in a line, and then find 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme. Then find 7 more before I go for mine. And that's 21 MCs. 8 up. at the same time.
Right.
Okay, this is boule bullshit. This is what they do. This is that boule shit where they sit up, do little goofy, corny shit like this. That was corny. And they sit up high-fiving each other. Woo-hoo! Woo! Bucking their eyes. Ooh, Lord, you told him. Show you did. This is complete goofballism. This is clown shit. This is clown shit. I hate when these niggas start quoting rap lyrics. Michael Eric Dyson does that, and I hate when he does that. They love to sound hip. They start quoting these rap lyrics to sound. Stop it. If they want to come get me, come on get it. You better come on get it. I came in the door. I said it before. Come on get it. When they start quoting rap lyrics and high-fiving each other, y'all don't know how dusty and fucking goofy y'all look. Yo, you want to debate me? You come debate me? Yo, baby pop, over here. Just come and push it, yeah. You come push it. Out of touch cornball niggas. If you want to come down, you want to talk about this reparation, let's rock. I want to rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. Oh, God. Corny Negroes doing all this bucking about, ooh-wee. You sure told them. Lord have mercy. These are your Democratic representatives. These are your black representatives here, okay? I want all the smoke. Don't push me, because I's close to the edge. Dynamite! Stop. God. Should I play more? I don't think I'm going to play anymore. I'm not going to. It's just more babbling. It's more babbling. I'm not going to play this. This is the kind of babbling that these reparations organizations, this is what they do. These are Democratic flunkies, boule flunkies, who sit up and do all this goofball shit. They sit around, they're the flunkies of the white Democrats, so they think that they're in, they think that they're part of the special club, and they get up there and Martha's Vineyard doing all that high-fiving and all that old jive talk. This is the same shit they do up there at the Inkwell. The same bullshit they do up there high-fiving and jiving. This is what they do. Slapping high fives, trying to get a job with the damn Democrats. The name of the game is to undermine us, to talk in circles, to babble and waste our time, and talk that jive talk and tell what they do, they tell white people that they're a liaison to the black community. They know how to talk to the streets. And they don't. These niggas are jokes among black people. They are jokes. You understand? Should I debate him? Do you think I'm going to waste my time debating all of this babbling? No, I shouldn't debate him. I'm not going to waste time. Okay, if I debated him and debunked all of his bullshit, what do I win? What the fuck do I get? That's an immigrant coon in the chat room talking about, you should debate him. Y'all immigrant coons love to have somebody try to debate your dumb ass to give you some attention. I don't get nothing out of debating a coon, clown, or none of them. I get nothing out of debating you. Debunking your bullshit. Your bullshit is already debunked. You've debunked yourself. Fuck am I going to debate you for? Y'all niggas have no credibility with nobody. Nobody takes you seriously. I don't get no points. You don't get 0 points for debate. Listen, if I debated everybody on that panel, what points do I get? Don't no black people take them seriously. Who takes Roland seriously? Nobody takes Roland's big, burly, swole back ass seriously. Roland's out here begging for a damn job. This is a nigga who needs employment. So he'll do anything to cape for the damn Democrats. So this is what they're doing. They're doing the work of the Democrats by trying to dilute the reparations conversation so that we don't get anything, family. The name of the game is for us to not get shit, and they're going to help us not get shit. They're winking and nodding to the white supremacists. Hey, look, white mommy, white daddy, I'm running interference for you. See, they know what they're doing. They're not talking dumb just to be talking dumb. They know what they're doing. You understand? Heavy stuff, man. What time is it? Shit, I've been on here for a long time. Let me go ahead and check on my damn kids and wife and everybody, man. I've been on here with y'all for a minute. Anyway, y'all, that's been today's episode of the Tariq Radio Live joint. Let me get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But look, Buck Breaking is coming soon. This is the most important film of the year. You're not going to want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen. You need to watch this film. Nobody takes Roland seriously. But look, Buck Breaking coming soon. There's a lot of folks in here. I know they got me under the shadow ban. We still got almost 8,000 people watching. And right when I go off live, then it'll pop up. The numbers start growing because they have my lives under a shadow ban. But it's cool. It's all gravy. It's cool. But yeah, we had a very good conversation tonight, man. Again, I cannot wait till y'all see Buck Breaking, man. I wanted to find a drive-in place somewhere to have a big premiere. We may or may not be able to do that because I just can't find any theaters, large theaters that's open. I'm still looking around. I'm trying to see what I can find. But, you know, what we'll do, I know we will have, we'll try to get it streaming on something. I know Amazon is already tripping about the streaming. And I know some of the other platforms, because of what we're talking about, they're going to be tripping about streaming it. But there's a couple of places that we're going to stream it, but we're going to have the DVD. And what I'll do before the DVD is officially released, we're looking at April. Yeah, we're looking at April. We're looking at next month. It's about to be March now, March tomorrow, but we're looking at next month. We'll probably have the film ready next month. But what I'll probably do for some of my diehards, I'll probably put together like a package for y'all so y'all can get the movie before everybody. I'm thinking about doing like a package deal where we got all 7 of our films, give y'all a Buck Breaking package, and we'll have, before we officially release it, we'll try to put together a package that y'all can get y'all's first before it hits the retailers. You understand? Atlanta Drive. Somebody said something about an Atlanta drive-in, but it didn't look like it could fit a lot of cars. That's the thing. So I don't know what's a big shop or a big place. If I could find a drive-through that's big, people are recommending drive-throughs, but the shit is hella small. But I really want people to see this thing in a setting where there's a lot of folks. I understand that, with the epidemic and the pandemic, meaning the Tiki and Pomona, don't come. When is All-Star Weekend? When is All-Star Weekend, guys? All the theaters in, I think the theaters in Atlanta they got spaced seats. The seats, let me call some of the theaters that I work with and see if I can get, maybe, I'm gonna call some of my distributors and see if we can get multiple screening rooms. Let me see. I'm gonna see what I can do, because this is some shit y'all need to see in the theater. I really want y'all to see this in the theater. Yeah? You got multiple screens? Okay. It's next weekend in Atlanta? Okay. Y'all be careful out there in Atlanta. Y'all be careful. Y'all be very careful out there in Atlanta, my folks. But we're gonna make it happen. I gotta just come up with some things. And Landmark in Atlanta's closed, yeah. Yeah, I want to see what I can, because Atlanta, if we do it, the premiere would definitely be in Atlanta, but it has to be a big place, man. It has to be a huge place. A drive-in where you can just put a few cars, that ain't gonna work, man. It'll be a damn traffic jam. You see, if it's a place too small, it's going to be a problem. That's the thing. Y'all can't name small places, because small places, it will be a traffic jam. Because everybody's gonna want to come see this thing. You know? No, I got the stream. I got some streaming stuff. You know, we got our other movies streaming on some other joints where you can get you can buy the stream or whatever. But again, I want to have it before it streams. I would like to have it in a theater or just at least one big premiere. So we're gonna get it together. We got to get it together. And also, I got to call. Family. There's been a car parked in front of my house for like a week. I'm gonna say this publicly just in case it's some bullshit. I've been trying to get this car moved because I didn't know, y'all know how for a long time strange vehicles be in front of my crib. There's been a car parked in front of my house for a damn week. And I didn't call like the city and they done gave me the runaround about towing this car, literally in front of my house. And they're like, you got to call this person, you got to call that person. Well, it's a private street because it's in a gated community, so you got to call the property managers and all that other shit. So they kind of, they're running me around, and I called the homeowners association, and they're like, well, you got to wait till Monday. I'm like, man, y'all need to get this shit up out of here. So I'm saying that, I'm gonna say it publicly, but just in case this is some kind of setup from the FBI, they done parked a car with some dope in the trunk, and they come over here and be like, oh, look, we done found the car, in front of your house. See, they'll do shit like that. They did some shit like that to Big U and those guys, where when Big U and Nipsey, they were on tour and they went and bought a Winnebago or something. They went and bought a van or something like that, and somebody was trapping in the van before. Then the feds showed up to Big U's crib. So little shit like that you gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch shit like that. So that's why I'm saying that now. So if anybody come up talking about there's a El Chapo left something in front of my house. Look, there's a car that I've been trying to get out of here for a week. And they've been giving me the runaround. I should take pictures of it and show y'all the license plate so y'all can find out so we can look it up. But yeah, this is a regular car sitting in front of my damn house for literally a week, directly in front of my house. Because usually, the little FBI cars be out there in different, and pizza vans and cable vans and all that. Just a regular fucking car sitting in front of my house. So anyway, let me get out of here, y'all. But anyway, man, buck breaking coming soon. Until then, go to HiddenColorsFilm.com to watch Hidden Colors 1 through 5 and the movie 1804. Go to OfficialFBA.com. A lot of folks are like, we want a flag like that. If you want a flag like that, well, damn. You need to go to OfficialFBA.com. The link is down there. We also got the bandanas. You can tie that motherfucker around. You dig? Boom. You got that going on. You got you a little COVID mask right there. You got the whole shebang. Ladies, if your lace front is slipping, you tie that motherfucker around here until you get to the beauty supply. You understand? There's so many wonderful things. You can sleep in it. You can wear it out. You can use it as a bandana. You can work out in it. Oh, man, it's a great thing to have. You can post it up in your house. The whole shebang. Foundation of Black American bandana. Boom. OfficialFBA.com. Beautiful, beautiful. Boom, boom. Yes, OfficialFBA.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right? You use yours as a COVID mask. That's what's happening. That's good. That's indeed. Fellas, and some of our brothers who on the other side of the game, if y'all hang out with Andrew Gillum, you can wipe up bussy stains with this. This is real good for bussy stains if you hang out with Gillum. So you can do a lot of things with this bandana. It really helps out a lot. It really helps out a lot. All right, y'all, I'm out of here, man. Y'all be good.